Hello. Today's scripture reading is from Jeremiah chapter 12, and it starts with the 7th verse, and it goes like this. I have abandoned my house. I have deserted my inheritance. I have given the one I love into the power of her enemies. My inheritance is turned against me like a lion in the forest. She growls at me. Therefore I have rejected her. My inheritance has become like a bird of prey, surrounded and attacked. Go, gather all the wild animals for the feast. Many shepherds have destroyed my vineyard. They have trampled down my field. They have reduced my treasured field to a desolate wilderness. They have devastated her. Desolate, she cries out to me in distress. The whole land is desolate, and no one seems to care. Over all the desert roads, destroyers march. For the sword of the Lord devours from one end of the land to the other. No one is safe. They have sown wheat and reaped weeds. They have worn themselves out for nothing. They will be ashamed of their harvest on account of the Lord's fierce anger. So, like we said yesterday, this is the second chapter of Jeremiah's prophecies about the coming destruction of Judah, that the inevitable overtaking by the armies that are surrounding her. And this particular part of the passage is Jeremiah speaking on behalf of God. So in my Bible, it's literally titled God's Lament over Judah. This is God saying, I am so sad. I'm so grieved. I'm deeply wounded by the lack of respect that my children have shown for their inheritance. I don't know if you've ever lived in a neighborhood where there's been a matriarch, someone who's in her 80s and 90s, who has had to move out because she can't take care of the house anymore the way she was. And if you've ever watched her children let the house go, it was one of those ladies who tended her flowers, and her yard was always neat and clean and had the flags out and the banners and the decorations for seasons and things like that. And if you've ever watched a house do that, just decay, because no one cared for it after someone had cared so deeply for it, then you know what God feels like in this situation. You know how angry God is and sad that Judah doesn't appreciate what they've been given. They're not grateful for the land that God gave them, that God tended for them, gave them as a gift. They're like those children who've neglected the house that their mother loved so much. And when we view it from that point of view, it's easier to understand God's anger and hurt. A lot of times we view it from our point of view, like we didn't deserve this. Why is this happening? And we forget that God is capable of being hurt and being angry and upset because we are ungrateful for the things that we've been given. And so we have to tend that relationship just like we would any other, and show gratitude and thankfulness and appreciation for all the wonderful things God has done for us and for those we love. And that is our challenge today.